Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now I like cars, you like cars, we all like cars, but sometimes you come across a motor that makes you stop and ask yourself, what in the bloody hell is that? Today, we're diving into the world of the most unusual cars you won't believe exist. We're talking about those head scratchers, those, did they really build that? Machines that make you question everything you thought you knew about automobiles. These are the rarest, most mind-blowing cars that will leave you speechless. From tiny three-wheelers to futuristic spaceships on wheels, we've got it all. So buckle up, hold on tight, and get ready for a wild ride. Right, first up, we've got something that's less of a car and more of a motorized shopping trolley. I'm talking about the P50, the smallest production car ever made. This thing is so small you could practically fit it in your back pocket. Seriously, it's just over 5 feet long and 4 feet wide. You could park it sideways in a standard parking space, and still have room for another P50. But don't let its size fool you, this little tyke is street legal. At least it was back in the 60s when it first trundled onto the scene. Can you imagine rocking up to the supermarket in this thing? You'd cause a right stir, that's for sure. It's got one door, one headlight, and could barely reach a top speed of 40 miles per hour. Powering this pocket rocket was a 4.2 horsepower engine. Yes, you heard that right, 4.2 horsepower, that sounded like an angry lawnmower. And get this, it didn't even have a reverse gear, so if you came to a dead end you had to get out and physically drag the thing backwards. Imagine the embarrassment. But you know what? There's something undeniably charming about the P50. Maybe it's the sheer ridiculousness of it all. It's like a little slice of automotive history that time forgot. They even brought back a limited edition run of these things a few years ago. Imagine that, a brand new classic. Still, I wouldn't want to get stuck behind one on the motorway. Next up, we're stepping into the future with the Mercedes-Benz F015. Now forget your granddad's Mercedes, this thing is straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's a self-driving car that looks more like a luxury lounge on wheels than anything else. I mean, have you ever seen a car with this much legroom? You could practically have a dance party in here. The F015 is all about autonomous driving and luxury. Imagine this, you're whisked away to your destination in absolute comfort while the car does all the work. No more traffic jams, no more road rage, just pure relaxation. Of course, knowing my luck, the bloody thing would probably drive me straight into a ditch. And get this, the interior is like something out of Star Trek. You've got these massive swiveling seats that face each other, so you can have a good chinwag with your mates while cruising down the road. And instead of traditional dashboards and buttons, there are touchscreens and displays everywhere you look. It's enough to make your head spin. Now I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, when can I get my hands on one of these? Well, hold your horses, sunshine, because the F015 is just a concept car for now. But it gives you a glimpse into the future of motoring. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be chauffeured around in these futuristic pods. Personally, I'd rather stick to something with a good old-fashioned steering wheel and pedals. You know, something where I'm in control. But hey, that's just me. From the future, we now travel back in time to the 1950s, the era of rock and roll, poodle skirts, and, well, some pretty strange-looking cars. And nothing says strange-looking quite like the BMW Asetta. This little car is as quirky as they come, and it's got a party trick that'll make you chuckle. The entire front end of the car opens up for you to get in. That's right, you don't open a door and slide into the driver's seat. Oh no, you open the entire front of the car like it's a bloody refrigerator. It's enough to give health and safety inspectors a heart attack. Imagine trying to explain that one to the insurance bloke after a fender bender. But hey, you've got to admire the Asetta's, shall we say, unconventional design. It was designed in a time when fuel was scarce and people needed affordable transport. And let's be honest, it's hard not to crack a smile when you see one of these things puttering down the road. It's like a little bubble car, hence the nickname. And it's powered by a tiny motorcycle engine that sounds like a swarm of angry bees. Top speed? A blistering 53 miles per hour if you're feeling brave. Just try not to get blown off the road by a strong gust of wind. Despite its, unique features, the Asetta was a huge success for BMW, selling over 160,000 units. It just goes to show, you don't need 4 doors and a massive engine to make a splash in the car world. Sometimes, all you need is a bit of quirkiness and a door that doubles as a safety hazard. Now let's talk about something a little more aggressive. Something that screams, look at me, I'm ridiculously wealthy and I drive a car that could melt your face off. I'm talking, of course, about the Lamborghini Veneno. This, my friends, is what happens when Lamborghini's engineers let their hair down and go completely bonkers. Only a handful of these beasts were ever made, and they cost an absolute fortune. We're talking several million quid a pop, but for that eye-watering sum, you got a car that looked like it was designed by a 12-year-old who just discovered heavy metal music. And I mean that in the best way possible. The Veneno is all sharp angles, massive spoilers, and enough aerodynamic features to make a Formula 1 car blush. It's like a fighter jet on wheels. And under that outrageous bodywork lies a 6.5-liter V12 engine that produces a mind-boggling 740 horsepower. That's enough power to launch you from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a neck-snapping 2.8 seconds. But here's the catch. The Veneno is so rare, you're more likely to see a unicorn riding a bicycle than you are to see one of these things in the wild. And even if you did spot one, you'd probably just get a fleeting glimpse of it as it disappeared over the horizon in a blur of noise and fury. So, unless you've got a few million quid burning a hole in your pocket and a desperate need to own one of the most outrageous cars ever made, you'll just have to admire the Veneno from afar. Personally, I'd rather spend my money on a nice, sensible family saloon. Right, let's be honest, who hasn't dreamt of traveling through time? And when it comes to time machines, there's one car that immediately springs to mind. The DeLorean DMC12. Made famous by a certain time-traveling movie trilogy, this car is an icon of the 1980s, even if it wasn't exactly a roaring success in its day. I mean, let's be honest, the DeLorean had its flaws. It wasn't exactly the fastest car on the road, and its build quality was, shall we say, questionable. But none of that matters because the DeLorean had one thing going for it, those iconic gull-wing doors. Seriously, those doors are the coolest thing about the car. They're like something out of a spaceship. I bet you can't open and close a DeLorean door without making whoosh noises. Don't lie, I know you do it too. But the DeLorean's legacy goes beyond those doors. It became a symbol of 80s cool, thanks in no small part to its starring role in Back to the Future. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of the time-traveling action, even if it meant driving a car that handled like a shopping trolley and had the acceleration of a sleepy sloth. These days, the DeLorean is a cult classic. It's the kind of car that turns heads wherever it goes. And who knows, maybe one day someone will figure out how to make it actually travel through time. Until then, we'll just have to make do with pretending. Now, have you ever fancied driving your car straight into a lake? No? Well, apparently the folks over at Amphar thought it was a brilliant idea, because they went and built a car that could do just that, the Amphar Model 770. It's a car, that's also a boat. What could possibly go wrong? The Amphar was marketed as the car that swims, and it caused quite a stir when it was launched in the 1960s. I mean, a car that can drive on land and float on water? It sounds like the perfect solution for those awkward moments when you find yourself at the edge of a river, and there's no bridge in sight. But let's be honest, the Amphar was more of a novelty than a practical vehicle. It was slow and cumbersome on land, and it wasn't exactly graceful in the water. Imagine a duck trying to mate with a tractor, and you're probably not far off. And then there's the whole sinking issue. You see, the Amphar wasn't exactly known for its watertight construction. In fact, it had a bit of a reputation for, shall we say, springing leaks. So if you ever find yourself behind the wheel of one of these things, I'd recommend investing in a good life jacket and maybe a snorkel, just in case. Despite its shortcomings, the Amphar has a certain charm to it. It's a reminder of a time when car designers were willing to take risks and try something a little bit different. Even if that something did involve the very real possibility of sinking to the bottom of a lake. Next up, we've got something that looks like it rolled straight out of a science fiction movie, and then drove into a polygon factory. It's Elon Musk's pride and joy, the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, I'm all for electric cars, but this thing looks like it was designed with a ruler and a set square. Seriously, have you ever seen a vehicle with more right angles? It's like someone took a bunch of triangles and said, let's make a car out of this. I'm surprised it doesn't come with a free protractor. And what's with that stainless steel exoskeleton? It looks like it could survive a nuclear blast, or a head-on collision with a herd of rhinos. I wouldn't be surprised if it came with a free set of body armor and a year's supply of canned goods, you know, just in case the apocalypse happens. But hey, I'll give Elon Musk credit where credit's due. The Cybertruck is certainly different, and it's definitely got people talking. Whether they're talking about how much they love it, or how much it looks like a reject prop from a low-budget sci-fi film, is another matter entirely. Personally, I'm not sure what to make of it. It's like Marmite on wheels. You'll either love it or hate it, but you can't deny that it's one of the most unusual vehicles on the road today, if you can even call it a road. I reckon it'd be more at home on the surface of Mars. Now let's take a step back in time to a more, shall we say, flamboyant era in automotive history. The 1950s, a time when America was in love with chrome, tail fins, and anything that screamed excess. And no car embodies that era quite like the Cadillac El Dorado Biarritz. This car is a rolling testament to the American dream, or at least the 1950s version of it. It's long, it's low, it's covered in enough chrome to blind a passing motorist, and those tail fins, they're like something out of a Buck Rogers comic book. It's like they took a rocket ship, stuck some wheels on it and said, yep, that'll do nicely. And inside it's like a plush 1950s diner. You've got enough room for 6 passengers, all upholstered in leather and vinyl so soft, you'll want to sink into it and never leave. And under the hood, you'll find a massive V8 engine that drinks gasoline like it's going out of style. But hey, who cares about fuel efficiency when you're cruising down the highway in a car this stylish? The Cadillac El Dorado Biarritz is a reminder of a time when cars were more than just a means of getting from A to B. They were a statement, a symbol of success, a way of life. And this car, my friends, is a statement that's still being made today. Right, let's talk about a car that's as rare as it is fast. A car that's so exclusive, only a handful of very wealthy individuals will ever get to experience its full potential. I'm talking of course about the Ferrari FXXK. This, my friends, is a track-only weapon, a beast of a machine that's designed to do one thing and one thing only: go fast. Very fast. The FXXK is basically what happens when Ferrari's engineers are given free rein to create the most extreme car they can imagine. It's a hybrid hypercar that combines a screaming V12 engine with an electric motor to produce over 1,000 horsepower. That's enough power to make your face melt off and your internal organs rearrange themselves. But here's the catch. You can't just walk into a Ferrari dealership and buy an FXXK. Oh no, this car is so exclusive, Ferrari handpicks the lucky few who are allowed to own one. And even then, you don't actually own it in the traditional sense. Ferrari keeps the car at its own facility, and you only get to drive it at special track days. It's like a very expensive, very exclusive club that only the super rich get to join. But hey, if you've got the money and you're lucky enough to be invited to join the club, then the FXXK is about as close to automotive nirvana as you're ever going to get. Just be prepared to remortgage your house a few times over. And finally we come to the creme de la creme of unusual cars. A car so rare, so expensive, and so bespoke, it makes even the most exclusive Ferraris and Lamborghinis look like mass-produced hatchbacks. I'm talking of course about the RollsRoyce Sweptail. This, my friends, is a car that redefines the term one of a kind. The Sweptail was commissioned by a mystery buyer, because of course it was, who reportedly paid a cool $13 million for the privilege of owning the most expensive new car ever made. And what did they get for their money? A car that's essentially a rolling work of art. Inspired by the luxurious yachts of the 1920s and 30s, the Sweptail is a masterpiece of craftsmanship and design. It features a panoramic glass roof that stretches the entire length of the car, a handcrafted interior that's swathed in the finest leather and wood, and enough bespoke details to make your head spin. There's even a built-in champagne cooler and a hidden compartment for storing a pair of bespoke picnic baskets. Because of course there is. When you're driving a $13 million car, you don't just stop at a greasy spoon for a burger and fries, do you? The RollsRoyce Sweptail is the ultimate expression of automotive indulgence. It's a car that's designed to make a statement that says, I have more money than sense and I'm not afraid to show it. And you know what? Good for them. And there you have it, folks, the 10 most unusual cars you won't believe exist. From the tiny Peel P50 to the mind-bogglingly expensive RollsRoyce Sweptail, we've covered some seriously strange and wonderful vehicles today. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Was it the time-traveling DeLorean, the futuristic Mercedes-Benz F015, or perhaps the classic Cadillac El Dorado Biarritz? Personally, I think I'd have to go for the Peel P50. You gotta admire a car that can double as a shopping trolley. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome content. We've got plenty more car-related craziness coming your way soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.